Bill McIntosh teaches AI non-stop. Success is his game, marketing's his fame. McIntosh, the marketing ace, follow his lead to the winning place. With AI and a clever spin, join him now, learn to win. Learn his way, don't delay. If you do, you'll make your fortune today.
Hey, welcome. I am glad that you're here. And this is the show where I help you with your journey as an entrepreneur. So whether you have an existing business, you're trying to use some of the newest cutting edge marketing or tech strategies to grow your business, or maybe this is your first business that you're about to launch, that's what the show is all about. And if you haven't subscribed, pop down below, you'll see the subscribe button, because all throughout the week, we're releasing content that is designed to help you, whether it's researching to start a new business. Maybe you don't know what niche market to go into. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to get some traffic, which is a big deal. We're going to talk a lot about that today, or anything that goes into building a new online business or using digital marketing to promote your existing business. We cover it all week long, and all you need to do is tap the subscribe right down below, and you're going to get lots more content like this. Now, today is pretty cool. We have a special guest, possibly two. We'll find out in a little bit. And my special guest is someone who I personally have gone to for advice many times over the years, and he's been instrumental in helping me grow my...
to the left, Mike, so I'm looking directly at him.
Oh, and there he is.
Oh, sorry about that. Thought I was in the lobby. My bad.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So, there's our secret guest in the background. You guys, some of you might have recognized that voice, but so I'm going to bring him on in just a little bit, and we're going to get started. And then, of course, in addition to the interview and the discussion today, we're going to have about getting traffic to your website. We have a few segments that I'll be doing, probably the second half of today's show, where I'm going to be going over how to use Twitter ads. I'm going to show you one of my campaigns, and I'll talk to you about how I'm getting the most amount of traffic and the cheapest subscribers that I can with my Twitter ad strategy. I'll show you one of my live ads, and we'll talk about the numbers, and I'll show you how to do the same thing. And then second round, we're going to cover traffic again with a different strategy. It's a $2 a day strategy that you can use to get traffic to your site, and especially a newer site. It's not only going to help you get traffic from social media, but it's going to help you rank in the search engines in the long term. And it's a whole package of a little strategy. We're going to cover that as our second segment of the day. But before we do, looking at the audience client, looks like we got a decent audience. I had a big text message blast that was supposed to go out to promote this, and the company that was supposed to send it seems like they just decided not to send it. It's just broken. So anyway, that's what you deal with on building a digital business. And maybe my guest and I can talk a little bit about this topic, but so many times when you go to execute a strategy, things don't go exactly according to plan. And sometimes they go wildly not according to plan. And it's how you adapt to that, adjust, is where I think where the winners and losers are determined, is in how you would face little challenges, like your text message service breaks and doesn't send your messages, things like that. But my special guest, actually, we'll just come on here. And let's go with, which variation are we going to do here? We'll go with this one. And here, I'll pull Nick off. There we are. So there's my special guest, none other than Mike Filsaime. So Mike, you've been doing this a little while, bringing traffic to your websites and turning that into money. That's I've been watching you do that for many years.
Yeah, when I don't mess up the tech, it goes well. I'm chuckling as you're talking about the tech, and I was talking with Rick Sheffrin the other day, because we had the biggest faux pas in my digital marketing career, period, the end. We decided to do a 10-day pre-launch for the Traffic Syndicate, and we had affiliates mailing 3 days for this video, 3 days for video number 2, 3 days for case study number 3. And at the bottom of each case study was a webinar registration that we integrated with GoToWebinar. And after about 4 hours, I realized that it was working with GoToWebinar, but it wasn't integrating into our CRM. So I got real upset. I called my team. I said, hey, what's going on? We need to be able to market to these people, track affiliates. This has to work with the CRM. Put them on blast. And I said, look, I got to run. I got another call to take. I'm going to come back. When I came back, I said, how's everything? We got it good. We tested. It's working. It's moving. I said, let me see. They showed me. It was into the CRM. When they added the CRM, they shut off GoToWebinar. And so for 10 days, we finally do the webinar. We have 5,700 registrations, and nobody showed up. Nobody showed up because it didn't go to the webinar. So comedy of errors. Yeah. So we are digital marketers. We work with technology. We own technology companies, both you and I, but we're going to be victims to the pitfalls. And so you have to bounce back and pick up the ball and go from there.
Yeah. Well, and I've seen, you and I have both had the privilege of helping other entrepreneurs with their businesses. And, just from that perspective, I've seen a lot of people that it's in those moments of like, something's not working as expected. And their reaction is like to quit. And that's absolutely the wrong thing to do. That's for sure. Or to determine, say, oh, webinars don't work. Right. That might be a conclusion someone comes to because GoToWebinar didn't, act it up, or something went wrong in the middle of the tech, and that is the surefire way to lose in business is to just write something off and say, oh, that doesn't work. And then, you lose, I think, when that happens. No.
Well, thanks for having me here today. I appreciate
it. I'm so glad you joined me. I know, man, you're right in the middle of this launch that you're doing, so I can only imagine what your schedule is like. How much time have you been on live air over the last week?
Over the years, I've learned how to automate this, and we'll pull the curtain, behind for any questions that you were to ask. No matter what happens during the launch, this is a behind the scenes where we like to let people know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, we did that webinar that I said nobody showed up. It was an automated, it was GoToWebinar, but I pre-recorded the webinar and that press play. So we've done a few of those, and I don't have to show up for that. So there's been a lot of presentations, but I don't show up. So believe it or not, this is the first live presentation that I've done since we've gone live.
Wow.
Prior to the launch, prior to the launch, I was here. There were 10 case study videos. So I interviewed 10 people. So I had to do 2 people a day, sometimes 3 or 4 videos a day. And it was just like this. And we had to, ask them. It was about 10 questions. Then we had to get those edited. We wanted real nice modern day podcast style videos, with the intro, the guitar music, all that in this episode. And we learned a lot from that, which is really nice. We can take that content, bless you. They've got that mute button. We can take that content. I got my little cough button here. Every time you see this hand go down like that, that hides my cough. So, we can repurpose that into clips and shorts and lots of content for our YouTube channel. And it was an ability for us to give our affiliates more things to mail. Here's a case study. Here's a case study. So most of the difficult work was done before we went live. And so after doing this, for 20 years, it's now at the point where if Tom is doing his job and working with the joint venture partners, and I'm looking at the tech, and I take care of the offers and the presentation and getting the product ready. It's been a pretty easy launch for me, believe it or not. Yeah, not too difficult.
Oh, that's good. Good. Yeah, I just got through doing a 5-day challenge launch, and I did the whole thing start to finish, all 100% live. And oh my gosh, it was, I felt like I needed a vacation afterwards.
Yeah, I did. Remember the first time we launched Groove in April of 2020, I think we did a Groovathon in June or July. And we've done a lot of Groovathons since then. But what we realized is we can use Groovathon for show up and do a live stream, and it can be from 12 to 2. And that was a groovathon for that day. But when we first did it, we did it for 14 days straight, 24 hours a day. It never stopped. It was,
Wow.
yeah. In fact, YouTube Live had to stop every 8 hours, and then we had to restart the live stream. But basically, we were every person in the team. We flew a lot of people down to the studio. Was being run out of my home at the time, and we set up a whole studio. And then somebody would have a 3-hour shift, and we were running it like a 24-hour news network. And then when it would hit midnight, Simon Leung and the friends in Groove Asia would take over, and they would just StreamYard like we're doing, but we ran for 14 days straight. And after that, we thought it was going to be so cool to do this. Like, we were so pumped. We're putting a schedule together. 2 days into it, we're like, what the hell were we thinking? It was so difficult. Yeah, it was so difficult.
Man. Well, hey, let's zero in onto the topic of the day, which is traffic, right? So you're obviously launching the Traffic Syndicate. That part of what I love, coming up with unique and clever strategies for getting traffic, especially when they work well. I think I wanted to ask you a question, just kind of zeroing in on this. My audience is kind of two groups of people. It's a very interesting mixed audience. One group is a group of people who haven't yet built their first digital business. They haven't yet put a site online and haven't yet started. And the other group is someone who's maybe kind of a little further down the road. They've got a site going. Maybe they even have a little bit of traffic, but they're kind of ready to start getting, some serious traffic. And I wanted to get two bits of advice from you, one for each group, for someone who's like maybe just getting started and someone a little further along on their journey. When it comes to the subject of traffic and what they should be focused on, if you have a bit of advice for each of those type of person.
Yeah, the answer might surprise you. And not a cop-out, because Bill, I always put something down on the whiteboard. And one thing I do when I say, who am I talking to? On the left, let's say I draw a line right here on the whiteboard. And on the left side, so that's this side for you. Over here, I put customer has not made $1 online. And then over here, I put the line and I say customer has made at least $1 online with their own product. What does that say about that customer? They've had somebody buy something at checkout. That means they've created a product. They have some type of website. They figured that out, right? Whether it's high level, ClickFunnels, Groove, whatever it might be. They got a page up there. They set up a product. They set up their merchant account with Stripe. They figured out how to put a thank you page. They figured out how to fulfill the product, put a buy button on their website, and some type of support that if the person doesn't buy, they could reach. For somebody to reach, just make $1 online. They have closed a skill gap that is absolutely tremendous. It's okay, great. Now you figured out the tough part. Now you've just got to figure out, how do we get a little more, better conversions, and then go get the traffic. On this side of the whiteboard, that person has not made $1 online yet. I've always found it difficult to try to market to that person. So for me personally, I've always said my message will be watered down to the newbie as much as they've made $1, or at least they get that concept. Because when we used to try to get everybody in there, what would happen is we would attract a customer and we would say, so the first thing you do is you unload this zip file, and they would go, what's a zip file? And we're like, oh, wow. How far does this part of the whiteboard go where we have to start creating videos to tell them all of these different things? And we want it to be at a certain point where we can say, connect your domain. Most people can figure out, how to buy a domain, connect a domain. So having said that,
so I want to pause you just for a moment there too, because I think there's some valuable advice in what you're saying here, which is, if somebody's in that earlier stage, their mission should be to make that first dollar, like really. So rather than being distracted by all kinds of strategies and tactics and all this, like there's so much to distract an entrepreneur. The sole focus should be that first dollar.
I would agree with you, Bill. I think at that point, you should you should not be getting caught up in traffic and conversion strategies and figuring out, reading books. You can read them, but trying to apply them, you're just not ready for that yet. So like no matter what you're looking at, if you're looking at something like no code software or you're a developer, there's always these different types of things that you've got to realize before I can do this, I need to do this. So that person that hasn't made $1 yet, they need to figure out how Samcart works with ClickFunnels. And I say this because I own Groove and I don't want to always be promoting my stuff, but whether it's they're using Samcart and ClickFunnels and WordPress, or they're using High Level, or they're using Groove and MailChimp and ActiveCampaign, before they get caught up in all this other stuff, the first thing they want to do is they want to understand how to get that technical foundation ready so that they can get things up and running. And then from there, they'll go create their product, load it up into a fulfillment site like Groove or Kajabi or something, Thinkific, or what's the new one that's blowing up right now? Sam Ovens' School, right? So you need, and I think Alex Hormozy just invested in that company now. So we'll be seeing a lot from them. So, but once you have that, then we're ready for this part of the $1 on over. And so here's my thoughts for that, to answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody should ever be concerned with traffic, even though the thing behind me says the traffic syndicate, because the very first foundation is, and I kind of say it like this little, old grandmother, right? How dare you, right? Like, do not dare, do not dare look into getting traffic to any funnel or website that, I'm going to use this word, worthy. It's not worthy of traffic. It's a sin to send traffic to it. It's a shame for you to ask an affiliate to send traffic to it. It's a shame for you to buy traffic to that website until that funnel or website checks all the boxes for conversion. Because here's the thing that most people, when we say the traffic syndicate or any course that's ever been out there, when people say this, I tried Facebook advertising. It didn't work for me. I tried LinkedIn. It didn't work for me. I tried posting that stuff on Facebook. It didn't work for me. I usually answer that question to them. And I said this in the webinar. Really? You gave Facebook $100 and they didn't send you any traffic? And they say, no, well, I mean, they sent me traffic. It's like, oh, so the traffic is there when you need it. It didn't convert. So whose problem is that really? Is it Facebook? Was it a Facebook problem? Or was it your offer? Now, we could even say you have a great offer and then maybe there was a mistake. You didn't target the customer. Your creative in the ad wasn't good. But the first thing, we have to check that box first. So the very first thing we have to do is make sure that our funnels are using the standard direct marketing principles. We have to ask, what type of product am I selling? Is it a $47 ebook? And well, that's not going to work with traffic. You can't buy traffic and make a $47 ebook work unless you have a couple of upsells and downsells and what we call, a back-end path, right? And that is what we call a funnel. I think we take that for granted. Let me just break that down for a second. We use this word funnel, right? Mm-hmm. And we say we're bringing people through a funnel. The funnel is to bring people through an ascension. They start wide at the top. They're just a lead. Then they buy the $7 tripwire. Then they buy a $297 product, and then maybe a $997. And then we invite them to our live event, and then we sell them a $25K mastermind or program or something like that, a typical ascension funnel. So that's another thing that's important when people say, hey, I'm going to go out and buy traffic. We need to know that the lifetime value or the average order value of this lead is going to be more than just your $47 book, unless you're selling a $497 product. I believe if you have a $497 product, you can do a webinar for it, drive traffic to an automated webinar. You don't need any upsells. You'll most likely be able to get your traffic to work. But that offer, funnel, VSL, all that stuff needs to work. And so what will happen is somebody will create the funnel and then go out and buy traffic for it. It's like, wait, did you mail anything to your list and see what we would call hot traffic? Did you reach out to Bill McIntosh and say, hey, Bill, do me a favor. Would you mind sending, a portion of your list to this? I just want to get some metrics. And then I would know that that's warm traffic. That's endorsed traffic. That's going to convert better than my ads. And if I mail to my list and it bombs, and I ask Bill McIntosh to mail to my list and it bombs, I know for a fact I'm going to waste my money with the traffic. So my first line, long-winded answer there is we've got to get that funnel and the offer ready to get traffic, because to send traffic to it is a sin if it's not ready to accept it.
Well, one thing I'd like to add to that too, I think, is that long-term thinking. We're talking about a funnel, and I think a lot of people will think in their mind a funnel, meaning like the first 24 hours. I paid for a Facebook ad. I spent, whatever, $100, and I got someone bought my $7 ebook. I just lost money, right? So I sold a $7 ebook, just lost $93 on that $100 Facebook spend. And I think a lot of people will think in terms of a funnel being a short-term, like, what is that immediate click experience? And where I found a lot of success is when I extend that, like in my mind, I'm extending that funnel, and it really is a 30, 60, or even a 90-day journey that when someone comes into my solar system here, the Bill McIntosh universe, they enter in from clicking an ad, they join a list, maybe they attend a webinar or buy a low-end product. But if I try to force my measurement of like how much money did I make on day one from that spend, I lose every time. But if I work really hard over that next 30 days to bond with that customer, make them more offers, make them upsells, then I win all day long. But it's by extending the time, like looking at it over time instead of looking at it, what did I make today on that click,
Yeah, so that's the contrast between average order value, right? That's we use that word average order value because the order is what happens in that one day, right? They check out, they see upsells, downsells, they buy or they don't, and then when we're done, we could say, okay, every buyer buys the product, and once we look at the upsells, we can average out what the average order value is. And then from there, we go to what you were talking about, the lifetime value or the 90-day value, or what's this worth to me in a year. And then they're on my list. And then, there's some things that we can't even track, right? What we might make with affiliate commissions, or if they come to a live event. It's so hard to know, when you can, there are people that'll say, Mike, I've been, your customer since before butterfly marketing. And I say, what product? And they'll throw a product out. I don't even think every now and then somebody brings out something. There was one that I'm so ashamed of. It was literally how to spam, right? So this goes back to 2002. So I see we got a weird camera angle on me, but so that's the lifetime value. But I think the goal that we have when we're buying traffic is at least if we can break even on the average order value, then hey, that would be fantastic. Let's say I could spend $1,000 a day, or 10,000, or 50,000, or 100,000 a day. What difference would it make if I was spending 10,000 a day and my average order value was 10,000 a day? People would say, well, then what are you bothering for? You're breaking even. I'd be like, yeah, but I'm getting 600 new customers a day. I'm getting 7,000 new leads, that are opting in, and I'm going to be able to, this front end offer is funding the lead acquisition at no cost. So it's like getting customers and leads for free. And then, as you said, Bill, now you can see, what can I turn this into in 90 days and a year? And what can I build from that? So that's another thing that, sometimes you want to look into. It's okay to be running an ad campaign that's breaking even or even slightly losing money if it's getting you leads and customers.
Yeah, I can think of a campaign that I think we were spending $300 to acquire a $100 customer. And that ad campaign just crushed. It ran for a good 18 months, solidly profitable. But had I measured it, I was losing money day one. But by the end of the 30 days, it was heftily in profit, and then continued to go on past for 6 solid months. It was that traffic continued to produce revenue. But yeah, so out of the gate though, I was losing 2/3 of the money I was investing in ads.
Yeah. And, it just, that'll affect how much you can scale, right? But, you might be able to do that at, 100 or 2 a day, or maybe 300 a day. But, if you're making a lot of money with it, it might affect you from spending 10,000 a day, right? Because, that's going to cost you $300,000 a month, right? And you might not be able to go that deep into your pocket to wait 4 to 5 months for that to pay off. But you find out where you can fund that long enough to recoup that money and then some. That's really awesome.
Yeah, well, but you're right. The ultimate is when you're at break even. So if you can get to where you're acquiring the customer and the leads at break even, then Yeah, that's wide open for scaling. So
yeah, and the other thing, like law number 9, when we did our webinar that you did last night with us, the 12 fundamental laws of a no-fail ad campaign. And by the way, behind the curtain, anybody listening, anytime you're going to do something, use the X fundamental laws of a no-fail, not a successful. That's something Jeff Walker and I worked out together on a phone call one day, and he had, I think, the 7 fundamental laws of a no-fail launch, right? And so it's very strange to what the mind hears when you hear the 7 fundamental laws of a successful launch, right? But the mind really likes to hear the 7 fundamental laws of a no-fail launch, right? But nobody wants to fail at anything, and that implies success. So you get both of those in there. So just a little tidbit for people. If you're doing a freemium report, I've been using this for a long, long time. This goes back to when we did, Andy Jenkins and I did the 5 fundamental laws of a successful webinar, of a no-fail webinar, right? It was the 5 fundamental laws. And we said law number 1, law number 2. Laws are good. They're kind of like, you can use commandments, laws, obviously secrets, strategies. Those are important. But just a little side note, it's always good to lead any webinar that you're doing, any training. Just break it down. Instead of giving somebody the secret to getting traffic, say, or to losing weight, just say the 7 fundamental laws when for effective keto, right? Law number 1, right? You absolutely no carb, whatever that might be. And it's just an easy way to break down a presentation. People have always seemed to identify with it. And so that's a little tip for people. But law number 9, fundamental law number 9 that we had was plan to fail. Another big mistake that I see marketers make is they go out and they run ads. And Mike, if we could lower that AC, but we go out and we run ads and we expect that ad to work the first time. Never. I don't know about you, Bill, but I know that usually you're probably like me. If you're working with your team, the first time you're releasing an ad to a brand new offer, you're usually going to start using these words like, what's the budget we have for this? And that reason why we ask that budget is we're asking, we don't expect this to win. What do we want to spend on this to get the data, right? So yeah, we'll say something like,
how much money can we sacrifice to get the data, basically?
Right, yeah, right. We're going to say something like, all right, don't go running $3,000 a day. Here's what I'm comfortable with. Let's run this for about 3 weeks to a month, run $300 a day, and let's see what happens. And if you sit there going for refresh, made a sale, whatever, it doesn't matter. You might make a sale, but the ad campaign sucks. What you're looking to do, and fundamental law number 9, is plan to fail. All you're doing in the first round is buying data and going through and going, Bill, see that one, the headline you and I thought would be best? Guess what place it came in? What? 11th. Really? Yeah. And guess which one was the best? The one that, this person in support came up with. That's running number 1 and number 2. And then now what you do is you take all of the bad junk and you throw it out and you look at what lost a little bit of money and said, hey, if we only ran this ad, instead of only making 2 sales, we might have made 7, but we still would have lost money. But what can we learn from this ad? And then now you start improving that ad to what's the next goal? Break even. If you could get it to break even, we just spoke about all the benefits. You're acquiring leads and customers and a tracking pixel at no cost. And the next thing you do is you optimize, add a back end, do a better guarantee, do an upsell, call the people on the phone, whatever it might be, optimize the ad, do new creatives, maybe a slightly different video. And now suddenly you say, oh my goodness, look at this. We're spending $900 a day and we're bringing in $2,200 a day. Oh my God. Like when that hits for somebody, that's, you get the calculator out and you're like, honey, come over here. What's that? What does that mean? 380. What does that mean? That's $380,000 we're going to make this year in profit if I just don't touch this ad. And that's what I want people to know, is that plan to fail, be okay, set that budget. If you say, Mike, I don't have that much money, I get it. I don't know who we're talking to, but I'm going to say this. do you have $1,000 to spend over 30 days? And what is that? That's about $30 a day, $33 a day. And if you don't, then spend $33 a day for 14 days and you'll spend $500. At the end of the day, you'll have data. The more data, the better you can make an informed decision. But any amount of data is going to at least tell you what ads didn't work and what ads did work. And then from there, that's all advertising is. It's throwing out the bad and looking at the good and saying, how do I improve on that? Well, you know what ended up working? Me with a picture of my dog. Well, let me get my 2 cats in the picture, and whatever it might be, just if you find out what works and improve on it.
Awesome. And so real quick, I want to plug your launch here just for a moment as well. So for the audience who's watching now, so we did a presentation last night talking about Mike's Traffic Syndicate, and it gets my full endorsement. So obviously, Mike and I have an affiliate relationship. I will earn a commission if you do participate with Mike, just for full disclosure. But Mike and I have been friends a long, long time. I know him really, really well. And he is one of my mentors, actually. So going way back to the early days, Mike, I think I've told you this before, but the product that really inspired me was butterfly marketing back in the day. And that really changed my thinking about traffic, actually. Yeah.
It makes sense seeing your career. You went down, everything that I saw you doing from like 2008 to 2015 was like, to me, was genius. I was like, wow, because it all had viral, and any single person that came in became part of the mechanism that fueled everything. All the the stuff that you did early with the with the software and the contest and different things like that. It relied on the current lead going out and getting 3 or 5 more people into it. And I loved it. I loved everything that you did.
No, thanks. Yeah. Well, you inspired all of that. So yeah. But so anyway, point is, even though that I'm participating in Mike's launch, I'm promoting the Traffic Syndicate. I'm a big believer in Mike himself and what he's doing. So especially when you learn about what the Traffic Syndicate is, if any of you are interested in learning how do the pros really get traffic and the inside, behind the scenes data on what's working like right now. And it was when I started to learn those things myself and started to get kind of behind the scenes, so to speak, and started to become part of masterminds and learn about what was working right now in other people's businesses when it came to traffic, everything changed for me. And so the Mike is now making that same experience available for you in the Traffic Syndicate, where you can get behind the scenes. I'm not even going to try to describe everything that's in the Traffic Syndicate. I'm going to let the replay speak for that, Mike. So what I like to do, I'm going to push out a link into the chat right now. This is a link to the replay. And here, let me see if I can pin that. Okay. So that is a link to the replay of what we did last night with Mike. The Traffic Syndicate is closing, by the way, too. So I think it's tomorrow at midnight. Is that right, Mike?
Thursday, February 29th at midnight. That's tomorrow. So that we've got about 1 day, 4 hours, and 27 minutes.
Yeah. So there you go. And of course, talk about adversity. My other desktop just rebooted itself. Decided it.
Yeah. So let me tell you how I look at the Traffic Syndicate, right? People are going to, get there, see the price. What I want them to realize is like there's 2 options. Obviously, there's a virtual and the attend, but we have to look at the fact of the matter that I'm just being honest. I don't know anybody. I can't name a single person that is successful that is not part of a high-level mastermind, some 25K mastermind. Is there causality there? I don't know. I just know that successful people go to mastermind. So there's definitely correlation, right? So you can say, point to me, show me a legendary successful person. I'm talking somebody just making $200,000 a year and up. Show me one of these people that don't belong to some type of mastermind, don't attend some type of group, whether it's a paid mastermind or whatever the case is. So you look at Joe Polish's mastermind, fantastic mastermind, Genius Network. I think that thing goes for $20,000 to probably $30,000. Ryan Dice and Perry Belcher used to have War Room. They now each have their own mastermind. Those things go for like $40,000. There's the 2 Comma Club masterminds. I'm part of Flight Club Mastermind, Webinar Con. Over the years, there are just a tremendous amount of really, really good masterminds to be part of. And those things cost $25,000 to be part of a mastermind. I'm part of 2 or 3 of them. And it's a little tough every year. The years go by so fast, especially as I'm getting older. It's like, hey, buddy, you're going to be joining the mastermind again? It's like, oh, is that already been a year? And I got to go to my team and say, hey, do you want to re-up this thing? And then we look back at the relationships that we make, and we are part of those 25K masterminds. When I looked at it and I said, if it's not causation, but there might be some correlation, isn't it a little bit unfair to someone, the chicken and the egg? Well, does that mean I have to pay 25K to be part of a mastermind in order to have success? Not necessarily, but you want to be part of these masterminds. So the first thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to create a mastermind that wasn't 25K and literally give what we feel is a 40K mastermind at $5,000, right? And so we wanted to go over and above those masterminds. Bill, you've been to these masterminds before. They're generally 3 days, right?
Yep.
Flight Club, you go on Saturday and Sunday, and you fly to Vegas or San Diego, and then he does Monday Fun Day. And so it's a 3-day, 2 days of intense workshop, 1 day of getting out and going and doing wine tasting or paintball or, Top Golf or something like that, where, you have a cocktail and you get to really know somebody and you sit back, kind of like what we did with the Marketers Cruise. I do that. Flight Club's $30K a year, just basically for three weekends a year. So we wanted to do that, and we do them right here in the studio. This is actually $1 million. We put $1 million into this. It's an educational studio here with behind me. What you're seeing is an 11-foot tall by 24-foot LED wall. There's a wide shot of it there. And we turn this section right in here. This podcast desk moves out, and we put in seating for up to 75 people. We have a smart board that we could write on, that you could watch it in real time with your laptop, whether you stay at home, virtual, or here in person. We can put the slides up on the screen. We can bring people like you and Bill here and raise their hand, and it's super interactive. There's nothing like it in the world. And we knew that there was a cost to doing this at a hotel. The reason why you're paying 25K for these things is they have to fly a team in with these cameras and set up booms and microphones, and these people are going to cost you 25 to 30,000 just to get them in to film your mastermind.
Well, yeah, the last time I did an event, it was 65 grand is what it cost me to run the event, and that was and then I decided no more. That was the end of that.
Exactly. And now, Bill, you can come and do your events here at the Grooveplex Studio for $7,500 a day. So 15 grand. You walk out, and when you're done, you'll say, "What's this?" And I say, "Well, that's your content. We did live switching. Here it is. All your editing is done for you."
Wow.
So yes, that's a little plug. That's at grooveplexstudios.com. That's what we do for people that want to run their. We don't say live events. We say masterminds and workshops, because we can fit up to 75 people in here. And so by doing that, we were able to bring the cost down from 25 grand, because I don't have to worry about hotels. This is what happens at a hotel. Bill, you've seen it. Part of your 65 grand was this. So Bill, do you want coffee for everybody? Yeah, just mornings or the whole day? Just morning. Okay, $16 a person. And did you want Danishes? That's not included with. No, that'll go to $22. And the next thing you know, you're going to spend $6,000 on just coffee just for the mornings, and then you start getting nickeled and dimed for all these different things. So the
coffee's not even very good either.
No. Oh, you want a decaf? And so we have a Hyatt. Literally, we're in the same plaza as a Hyatt. So it's Florida. People are all the traffic syndicate members can walk over. I don't have to deal with a hotel. I don't have to deal with a room block. I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. And then we can do a catering with Louis Bossi or Moe's Grill or Chipotle, and then bring in some pizza or something. And I can spend seriously $300 and bring a buffet. They bring it all over for $300, and I can feed everybody. And so that also keeps the cost down. And so these masterminds are good, but they're usually at some type of Hyatt hotel, and they're paying for buffet dining to come in. And at the end of the day, you're paying that. That's why you got to pay the 25K. So we were able to reduce those costs and bring it down to $5,000 for everyone. But it's not just a mastermind. That's where, and I'm not picking on any of the other masterminds. That's all they are. They basically give you a WhatsApp group, right? But what we wanted to do is not make it just 2 days plus a fun day. We added 2 additional days. So it's 4 days. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Workshops, speakers, working on your business, hot seats. You get everything. There's no pitching. It is a true mastermind. We've done about 6 of these already. About 5 of them already. And then on Sunday, we do a fun day. Like the last one we did axe throwing, and it was, we just hung out, had some brunch, and we did axe throwing, and everybody, gets together. Some people leave early and do the flights. So we're basically doubling the amount of content, and we're taking the price down by a factor of 5. And then we realized that there are some people that might not be able to come to these things, but they're like, hey, is this all or nothing? And so we also have a virtual option for people that saves them another $3,000. And it's just $2,000 or $1,999, right? $2,000. And they get everything, but they get to attend virtually like you're doing right now. And you saw Mike switching the screen, and I can share. And it's so interactive. There are some people that are just like, yeah,
I didn't even know you had the virtual option. So
yeah.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah, it's on the page. We didn't talk about it in the webinar. So if anybody wants, in fact, one of your people yesterday bought the virtual option, $19.99, and they were like, hey, I love being able to do this. And just as you're sitting there, Bill and Mike, why don't you switch to another camera? And he'll do that in just a minute, just to give you an example. I don't think he's hearing me over there in the studio, but I told him to switch the camera. Yeah, no, he's not. My producer doesn't have the headphones on, but we have multiple cameras, but you get the point. And there you go. Right. So if this is the other camera there, or we've got a few, and I
Keeping
can
you on your toes.
Yeah, I can. We can put our screen in, and we work with Zoom and StreamYard, Riverside, all these different things. It took us a year to figure out everything and what little gadget we had to buy, but the experience for users, I don't even have it here. We have we got a little note there. Jesse's backstage. We even have a smart board that I can write on and give everyone a QR code, and then they can save it as a PNG or basically like a PDF. And so we have that, but then it doesn't stop there. That's just masterminds. What we also do is inside of the members area. And do you mind if I share my screen just for that, Bill? Just real quick. I've never actually.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And so I'll just do another call to action for everybody so you know as well. So I put the link in the chat for those of you, I pinned it. So if you're in the live chat, you'll be able to see it. And if you're attending this after the live session, I'll put it in the description below. But that's where you can go watch the replay for the webinar that Mike and I did yesterday. And then there's also a link on that page to go become part of Traffic Syndicate and to become part of that. So you'll see that, and that link was, let's see, what I can read it aloud as well. That was jobcrusher.com/syndicate. That is the link to watch that replay, and you'll also see a link on that page where you can go check out and become part of Traffic Syndicate. And I want to give it another endorsement as well, and just tell the audience that time and time again, when I have been part of a mastermind or going out to an event where I can actually learn from others, I'm not just in this little bubble that I'm in and maybe reading ebooks and watching YouTube videos to learn traffic strategies. But when I actually get in front of a variety of experts and get to have that interactivity with them, it makes such a difference. I find I'm able to implement, I'm able to get results better, which ultimately means then I'm getting traffic to my business and I'm making money. And so I really wholeheartedly endorse anyone who is at that stage where you're ready to start getting traffic to your business and you want to learn whether it's the inside secrets or just the getting started of how to get started running traffic. This is the solution for you. So check out that replay. And Mike, you wanted to show the screen. Let me put it up. There we are. There you go.
All right. So what you're looking at here is my screen. I'll show you that. Well, this is the members area for the Traffic Syndicate as well. So not only are you getting a mastermind, a $25K, or what some people charge $40K for, you're getting for just $5,000. where you come meet us 3 times a year and going to meet some incredible people. We also have a community, a Facebook community for you as well to be working and getting to know everyone. But we wanted to also highlight that we have courses in here. And as you can see, this is the onboarding here. This is a course called $1 Million Traffic Plan, Digital Sales Machine, How to Monetize Your Expertise by Launching and Growing a Successful Online Business. Here you have Customer Acquisition Mastery. All right, learn the successful proven methods for turning clicks into customers. 7 simple website conversion hacks, the video ad formula. This course right here, don't sleep on it. This is actually a course that sells, I think, for $297. And Kevin, when we were, he's one of the experts in the Traffic Syndicate, gave us that course included for free in the Traffic Syndicate. He felt comfortable doing it because of the price point. He felt that it was something he wanted to do to add value. But here you have Facebook Crash Course, Meta Insiders Essentials. This guy, Jacob, is an absolute legend. YouTube Ads Mastery. So these are an entire course on YouTube advertising. This is Google Ads. This is pay-per-click. This is my funnels. Remember, I told you don't run traffic until you know how funnels work. So you're getting funnels masterclass here. I told you about all of the interviews that we have in the Traffic Syndicate interview series. And when we click unlock, you can see here all of the different interviews, and it looks like we got all of them in there. So, so those are the interviews that I was telling you about. But just heading back to the front here, looking at what else you get, webinar experts. This is an interview series that I did with Brendan Bouchard, Russell Brunson, Jeff Walker, Evan Pagan, Onyx Singal, Jason Fladlin, Mike Koenigs, Alex Mondosian, Bill McIntosh. Bill, this was a few years back. Fantastic stuff you gave in there. Imana Gay, Jeremiah Demery, and Pam Hendrickson. And so let's just take a look at a particular course here so that you can see, are these like, courses with 3 modules that are 8 minutes each? Let's take a look here at like the Facebook Crash Course here. And so when you come in here, you're seeing 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19 modules, right down to retargeting. And so let's take a look at what the content looks like. Is this just share my screen, 3 minutes, these are things you want to do, set up your ads, or is it well thought out, pre-planned ads? So let's take a look right here and the anatomy of an ad campaign. And let's see. So you're seeing Bill Hicks, who is one of our Traffic Syndicate experts in here. And remember, this isn't just me. You're getting me and Jesse and Bob Hicks, I'm sorry. And you're getting Kevin Anson and Jacob Bowe and Peter Deli and many, many other people in here that actually put time together to put a course together. So I'm going to hit mute here so it doesn't, we don't hear the noise. But you're seeing that the content is really, really strong content. Sometimes you buy a course and you get 1 or 2 of these videos, and then after that, it's just a person rambling on a whiteboard, for 1 hour, and then they break it down into modules. These are pre-made modules and lessons, and you can go down right into the next course.
Yeah, actually, Mike, to interrupt you real quick too, looking at the contents of that lesson you're showing right there, I'm seeing the answers to some questions that my audience asks me all the time about the kind of the basics of how to get started with Facebook ads, and I'm seeing you're answering all their questions right there. That's cool.
Yeah, it's again, this is one course on Facebook traffic. If we go back, we see that if we were to look at like the video ad formula course here, getting started 3, 6, 9, 10. So there's 11 modules, and this particular module right here you're seeing he's in front of like an LED wall here with very, very good content, picture in picture. And so this is absolutely just fantastic content. Let's take a look at just one more because we kind of get the point here. But if we look at let's say you wanted to learn YouTube's and this YouTube advertising, YouTube ad mastery, and we're going in and we're putting nice thumbnails with images. Right now they don't have images, so it's just the text, but writing ad copy. And this stuff is up to date. We're talking about using ChatGPT, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're looking at this presentation here, again, quality presentation, not somebody that's just showing up on a whiteboard that has 5 talking points and then breaks that down into 1 hour and then sells that. Each one of these courses could easily be a $297 or a $497 course. So everything that you need in traffic is here: YouTube, Facebook, video marketing, pay-per-click, and we're going to be adding more courses on LinkedIn, SEO. We're going to keep adding courses to this traffic syndicate.
Yeah, I'd like to have some of my team do some of those courses, actually.
We would absolutely love that, Bill. Yeah, have you featured and get you listed, up at on the picture of the traffic syndicate experts. That would be fantastic.
Oh, cool. Well, I mean, I want some of the people on my team, my staff, to do these courses as well. Yeah, but that would be cool too.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Put them through this for sure. There's some. This is quality stuff. Exactly. So this is like if you have a company as well, like you just said, Bill, have your team go in and let's say they only know Facebook. Well, now they could learn how to do YouTube advertising or pay-per-click. And so and then I'll stop sharing my screen there. And I know that Mike will switch the camera back to over here, and I know that Jesse is backstage as well if we want to bring him in. And then finally,
let's do that. So what I'll do is I'm going to take a quick commercial break. So we'll do a quick break, and then when we come right back, we'll bring in our traffic expert number 3. Will join us in just a moment. I'll let you do the honors of introducing him, and I'll pull him up. But we'll take a quick commercial break. Let me get that prepared here, since my production machine crashed, but here we are.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
The other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had PushButton AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using PushButton AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning, you wouldn't believe.
This PushButton AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
All right, and we're back. So welcome back. And some of you are still in YouTube ad land, so we'll give everybody a moment to catch back up with that. And here we'll bring Mike back up. So there's Mike, and we have our other guest. And Mike, you want to do the honors and introduce him?
Yeah. So this is my partner in the traffic syndicate, and I met him, Bill, because he does my ads. He's CEO and co-founder of Pixel Prodigy. They're a media buying agency, and they're just helping us blow up our ads we have new products and different things like that. And we were getting off a call about 6 months ago, and Jesse said, hey, Mike, I have this vision. And he started laying out some of the things, and I was like, well, why don't we throw in this, and we have this, and we just started putting together something, and we didn't have a name for it. And then, as I said in the webinar, I was part of a mastermind group that sort of shaped the industry. And I can say that without bragging, because even if you take me out of it, I'm not bragging. The people that were in the syndicate was Frank Kern, Brendan Bouchard, Jeff Walker, Ryan Dice, Perry Belcher, Eben Pagan, John Reese, myself, Jeff Walker, and we were part of this thing called the Syndicate from 2006 to about 2013. And that mastermind was profound on what it did for my career. I believe 100% I am who I am today because of many of the things I have. Plus, I was in the syndicate. And I can say the same thing for Frank Kern, Jeff Walker. We helped build each other's brands. And when Brendan Bouchard came on the scene, Brendan was voted into the syndicate, and overnight we were able to help be a launch pad for him. And then, he went on to do some incredible things with this person here, Jesse Dobeck, as well. So I'll introduce Jesse. He's my partner in the Traffic Syndicate. This was a brainchild that he proposed to me. He had all of these Traffic Syndicate experts, are mostly his connections, people that work with him and his agency. So Jesse, thanks for joining us. Welcome here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I feel like I'm on with a couple legends right now, so I'm honored.
You are.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. Good to have you here.
Yeah. And so, Bill, just to finish that last thought, the Traffic Syndicate also includes not only those courses, but it also includes what we call on-ramp training and the fast lane training. Twice a week, we're doing minimum 1-hour calls, probably 90-minute minimum calls twice a week for the Traffic Syndicate members, where they get to work with Jesse and other trainers that we have, so they can come on live like we're doing right now, ask questions. And so there's also live coaching. So you're really getting it all. It's a multifaceted course with multiple different products. It's live training, live coaching, and a mastermind all in one. And again, that option for if like you just want the virtual option is just $2,000. It's really what we think one of the best values out there. But just wanted to wrap that up and put a bow on it as we bring in Jesse.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Yeah. And I really like that virtual option you guys have added. Of course, I'm a big fan of the in-person events. I know that's been, for me, a real game changer. So if you can budget it and you can plan it to be at the actual in-person events, you should do that for sure. But if it's just not feasible or not within the budget, then the virtual is perfect. I'm glad you added that.
Yeah. Maybe you live in New Zealand and it's just, not as practical as somebody that lives in Atlanta that could drive here in 3 hours. So now we have something for everyone. That was also Jesse's idea, by the way.
Good. Well, hey, Jesse, I wanted to ask you, in watching the what was done in the webinar, you guys had some really phenomenal insight into Facebook ads and some of the kind of pitfalls that people have fallen into, that maybe why their ads are too expensive or why they're not getting results. I don't know if you want to talk, like do a little mini version of that.
Yeah. First thing I want to talk about is, I've been doing what I'm doing for about 15 years. And a lot of it has always came back to with my clients. I first started out building websites and they always said, this website's great. I've given you like $5,000, but I'm not making any money with it. Well, it always comes back to, you need eyeballs on it. You need traffic. So that's when I went to Traffic and Conversion Summit, started learning SEO, cracked the code on SEO with Google+. I figured out you could use Google+, just like you're using it with Facebook, putting posts up every day, paying somebody on Fiverr to get +1s or get real +1s. And you can game the system to be able to get a lot of rankings on Google. We were ranking our clients like 7 out of 10 spots on the front page of Google. So I felt like that was my first area where I cracked the code in the online world. And I bought a domain called the G+ guys, and people were talking about it. They're like, he knows how to do SEO better than anybody. But really, I was just using Google+, and not a lot of people knew that, because I wasn't like saying it to everybody. But they're saying, man, look at how many spots his clients are ranking on Google. And then I learned a strategy with Facebook with fan pages. And I understood how content goes along with paid, like actual organic content. You have to do that well also to then get a lot of people to watch your videos to get cheaper clicks when you're running paid ads. So I really started diving into that, and I worked with a gentleman. I know you guys know him pretty well, probably Brendan Bouchard. I know Mike does. And I worked with him for like almost 9 years. And my business partner that I grew up with still runs his ads to this day. So what I take pride in is working with people long term and being able to really scale them out and really fine tune every single detail of the strategy. So the first thing we have to do is we have to look at what is the target audience? You know, who are we targeting? What does the offer give to the target audience, and who are they? So really figuring that out. Then going into Facebook, coming up with the objective. Are we doing leads? Or are we doing sales? So with Brendan Burchard, he was selling books. So we're optimizing for sales. We're not optimizing for leads. So that's kind of the first thing. But most of the clients that I work with now, they want to sell the most expensive thing that they have. So they need to run a short video, like a VSL that's shortened, maybe like 10 minutes, drive them to a page where they can fill out a form and become a high quality qualified lead. And if you can do that for the right price and be able to close with a sales team or over the phone well enough, it's really easy to get to a 3 to 5x ROAS, return on ad spend. It's a lot easier than trying to break even, because I've been sitting backstage and you're talking about breaking even. And absolutely, with book sales, you can lose money because you do a one-click upsell for a course, you get them to a live event, you get them into the high-ticket funnel, and now within a couple weeks that you're profitable, but you're losing money up front on a purchase. So like most people are not ready to try to optimize for purchases. They're more ready to optimize for leads, and they have a high ticket offer. Okay, then the ad creative portion, that's the whole next thing. So in the training, I bring out Jacob Bowe, who's my guy for ad creatives. He's probably the best in the world because he got trained inside of Facebook, because Facebook was feeding him the best clients. And they're saying, okay, these are the types of ads that we're going to create. So like between Kevin Anson and Mike, you know, is a huge advocate of Kevin Anson inside the Traffic Syndicate, the video ad formula. So he really knows how to script an ad. But between him and Jacob, the guy that knows how to make it visually amazing. So once you can provide content that's really valuable on the Meta platform, now the cost per click is going to go way down because you've given more value to the end user. And I like the advertisement you just played when we took a break with the presidents and all that stuff was really cool.
That was cool.
And,
I got it.
Yeah. So, and right there, that type of thinking outside the box, being creative, right? It's called an ad creative for a reason. You want to be creative. Right,
hey,
so you figure out your targeting.
I just learned something. I swear.
Yeah,
I never looked at it that way. Yeah, thank you.
And a lot of things, you know, are common sense, but they're not common practice. So it's like some of the stuff in the training that I did was like, yeah, duh, I already know that. But then some of it's like mind blowing over the top, like the details of it just kind of gets you thinking a little bit. So you figure out what type of ads, who you're targeting, what your creative is, and now you're kind of ready to figure out, what am I going to say in my ad? You know, your copy, you know, that's part of the creative process. But then putting the copy in, the ad and the copy on the landing page and the website has to be congruent. It has to be speaking the same language. So that way, when somebody sees the ad and goes over to the landing page or goes over to fill out the form, they're not confused, because a confused mind will never buy, or they'll never take the next step. So you want to make sure it's simple, it's direct, it's to your target audience to the T. And those are things that you're going to be buying data. We get to law number 9. You got to fail forward is you're starting to invest to like understand the perfect targeting, right? And that's why you're testing, you're trying different things. And, you know, then the other steps of like setting up your retargeting pixels. So you're tracking all your viewers and all your people that are on your ads. So then you can move them through your funnel based on tracking them throughout the whole process, right? Because some people, they're going to join your landing page, but they're not going to opt in. Some people are going to go to your landing page, they're going to opt in, go to the next page. So you might want to move them along with different ad sequences, depending on who's there. Okay, and then there's also budgeting. Okay, this is probably one of the most important things. Is I've worked with a lot of people, and most people want to spend way more money than they can afford, and then they say that ads don't work, because you want to spend about 10 to 20% of the profit of your business. So if your business is profiting zero, how much are you going to, what's 10% of zero? It's zero. So it means you can't start ads yet. You got to do the offline things, get some clients, do some connections, try to get a sale, get a client, put 50 grand in the bank. And now your monthly profit, 10% to 20% of that, that's what you should be paying a media buyer and Facebook, the total amount. And if you don't have that, you need to go figure out how to do it through organic. You need to go through, try to get some clients offline. So that's one of the biggest, most important pieces to this is people usually try to spend like 2,000% of their weekly ad or their weekly, or sorry, they try to spend 2,000% of their monthly profit on their ads per month. And then they're like, this doesn't work. I hate Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg's a jerk. No, they budgeted way off, right? So setting clear expectations. So yeah, we go over a lot of the steps in there, a lot of the fundamentals. Don't know if that completely answered it, but yeah.
It did. And I'll do a plug as well, again, just for the replay, because in the training in that webinar, there's some golden nuggets in there. In fact, one of them I'm taking into my Facebook ads myself from that training. So I want to just let everybody know that training from last night is available. You can watch the replay. And to go to that, you go to jobcrusher.com/syndicate, and I'll pop. I think I have it right there.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, I want to plug one thing that we haven't plugged, I don't think, hard enough about that training, is there's 2 people on there besides me, right? That those 2 people have done such amazing things with ads that I don't think we edified them well enough. Like Jacob Bowe inside of Facebook for 3 years, the information that he has and the connections he has inside of Facebook, he can do things nobody can do. And he's done commercials that are like Super Bowl level commercials where people pay like close to like $500,000. He created for one of his clients, Bell Helmets. He created a commercial during the Olympics that they paid over $500,000 that he created the whole team and filmed it and edited it. And it is epic. Okay. It has like all these riders where it goes around in a dolly track and it switches the rider who's in the middle. He does this. It's one of the most famous, ads probably in the Olympics ever. If you Google it, you'll see the ad. So he can do things with creative and he's on there teaching like cutting edge secrets. The second person is Peter Deli. He's managed $250 million in paid ads over the last 10 years. And that was never said in there. So he knows like the most intense ways to scale an ad, managing some of the biggest budgets in the world. And another media buyer that we have on our team has managed $210 million. So $500 million we have collectively of people that are going to be teaching you how to scale ads. If you can get your ads running, get them profitable, we have the people that can show you how to scale that have done it like the best in the world. So.
All right. And so I highly do recommend that if you guys haven't seen it, watch the replay from the webinar that we did yesterday. And that again is at jobcrusher.com/syndicate. And then finally, if you're ready to join the Traffic Syndicate, I have another link for you. So separate link for that one. And you can just go straight there and you go to jobcrusher.com/trafficmike. So there you go. And I'll pop that one into the chat as well. And that'll take you straight to the launch page for Traffic Syndicate, where you can read all about it and get in on all the fun stuff. There we go. Jobcrusher.com/trafficmike. So those are your 2 options at this point. And want to remind you that this is not one of those things that you can sit around and wait on. This is a launch, and Mike's closing the doors tomorrow at midnight. So this is a time-limited offer. If you want to become part of the Traffic Syndicate, gets 2 thumbs up from me. That's for sure.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah. And Mike, anything else you want to add about the syndicate or anything at all?
We're basically starting March 1st, right? So anybody that gets in, it doesn't matter that we've been open for a few days. There's been nothing other than getting access to the membership, so that hasn't even missed any of the live training. We even have a date. I believe it's in the FAQ at the website, but I believe it's like the 2nd or 3rd week of June. But the exact dates are also at the website, where we're going to be doing our first 5-day mastermind. 4 days if you're at home, because obviously, we won't be keeping you on FaceTime on the fun day as we go play Top Golf or something. But so you don't get to participate in that. But for the 4 days, everything that happens in the education studio, you get to see back at home.
Fantastic. So it's in June. I think I may try to come out to that. Yeah.
Oh, that would be great, Bill. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah,
cool.
We'll have you speak. We'll have you as one of the speakers. What do you think about that? If you can make it.
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Okay. Well, now I get a good excuse to come out and see you.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, as far as the audience as well, if you guys want to come hang out with me and Mike and the whole gang, become part of the syndicate and see us out there.
Come on out.
And then, Jesse, one of the things that I don't think I'm trying to remember who talked about this that I got out of that training last night was how I was accidentally making my ads compete against each other. Right?
Yeah, Jacob. Yep.
Yeah, that was Jacob. Okay, yeah. So, boy, that was an eye opener for me because I'm doing that. I thought I had it handled properly so that I would not doing that, and it turns out I had it all wrong. And I learned literally last night while I was watching how to fix that. So it's an example that I'll bet anybody watching right now who's running ads, there's a good chance you're making that mistake because I was. Yeah. I've been doing it for years.
Yeah. Jacob is just absolute genius. So is Peter. They have 3 different personalities: Kevin, Jason, and Peter. Jacob. Jacob is dynamic. You can tell he comes from a creative background. He gets excited when he talks. He pulls the energy right into the room, and he's just so brilliant. And I think Jesse basically said what you get from Jacob is out of the box thinking and creatives, and he really knows how to find something on the cutting edge. So if anything were ever to get stale, he's the guy that's going to figure out what the next frontier is in creatives. And then Peter, his personality, you can see he's an analytical thinker, and he's the type of person that if you were, maybe to look at, like a physicist or something like that, that figured out, how to crack the code for investing, one of these people that looks at the markets and can create quantitative analysis and stuff like that. I think Peter's got that mind for that. But what's really nice about that is he can turn around and explain that to the layman's term and say, the reason why we can get to managing $250 million in ads is because of these fine details. So you get that from Peter. And then, Kevin, what we learned from Kevin is, YouTube advertising, which what's really good about that is there's a skill gap to get on YouTube. To get on Facebook, you can get on Facebook in 15 minutes. You go to Canva, type in Facebook ad, get a pre-made gorgeous canvas, and say, okay, my headline goes here, save, run ad, target to these people, you're up in 15 minutes. YouTube's not that easy because a video needs to be created, a script, it has to be performed. You don't want bad lighting. You don't want to be going, so make sure to subscribe, right? And so a quality YouTube video is difficult to make because of the skill gap, but that also means there's less people doing it. A lot less people doing it. I talk to my marketing friends all the time. 1 in 20 is doing Facebook advertising. So that means in your niche, it's 20 times easier to get in front of somebody on Facebook just by that math. So you go through, Kevin's courses and come on when he's doing training, and you're going to learn stuff to be able to be like, wow, that's not difficult. And Bill, as you're showing, you could create an ad using AI, image generation, take that image, pop it into some Pika Labs, animation thing.
There's a lesson on my channel that shows them in 10 minutes how to do the whole thing.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So there's no excuses anymore. So the whole thing about, well, I don't feel comfortable on video. You don't have to. Nobody said it has to be your voice. Who said it has to be your voice? His voice is in 11 labs that you can just, that sounds so perfect. You know, it's great. And there's no myth out there of we're going to bust it. Google doesn't like AI. It's like Google can't be in the AI business and telling you to use their AI tools, but then not use it for SEO. And so at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is it quality content. So if you're not just letting the AI make something that you're not reading, as long as you're going in there trying, rewrite this sentence, make it smaller, make it better, and then tightening it up. And we give all of these. We give Groove.ai is included. Bill, you have your PushButton AI, and with the tools that you have and we have, and the prompts that Jesse and Kevin and Jacob are giving in there, it just makes it so much easier now to get up and running.
Oh, the difference from a year ago to now is enormous. I think it levels the playing field for a newer entrepreneur. I really think it does.
Yeah, I think it was Jesse that said it the other day that we're about 6 to 9 months away from the interface from Google and YouTube just completely changing. You're going to have a tab that's going to say something like legacy version, and that's going to be what we have. And then it's going to be like, whatever they're going to call it. And when you go there, it's literally going to be like how you make a video within video. Now, you're just going to say, I want a Facebook campaign that's targeted to these people, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to go, it's going to create all the ads for you, the images, the text on the ads, the headlines, and every single thing. It's going to find the audience and it'll make the ads. I guarantee you that's coming before we hit 2025. You still need to understand all the other fundamentals, right? That's one fundamental law might get easier, the ad creatives and the targeting, but then understanding the rest of the stuff in the traffic syndicate's just going to keep getting easier and easier.
Wow. Well, that really will level the playing field, because I know all of us ad nerds that like to get into all the little settings that you can, let's try this setting, and then back in when we used to tinker with audiences so much in Facebook.
AI is going to do it all for us. For us. It's going to be back there finding split tests, calling winners, and then starting a new split test. It's all coming.
Yep.
Wow. Well, fantastic.
Yeah, just so you understand where it's already at, is you can't even choose your interests in the targeting. And that was one of the main things. Like, oh, I want to target people that like Tony Robbins and they like going to live events. Or they like Brendon Burchard, Tony Robbins, and Russell Brunson. I used to be able to target that, but now you can't. And it's because Facebook wants to be able to choose who they put your ad in front of. They don't want you to pick it because you might put it in front of the wrong people. So they're like, oh no, our AI knows exactly who this copy and this creative is for, and I'm going to stick it in front of them, and you're not going to be able to pick, because it's a user platform. If you understand that Facebook, all they care about is their users, and you create content for their users to get more value from that and keep people on the platform, but also get into your sequence and buy from you. If you can accomplish both, entertain them, keep them on the platform, and love the content and the product that you're providing, now you're going to get a better price. You're going to have success. So you have to understand the platform that you're going after in marketing.
I think it's a good point too, because I think so many people have the business attitude of like, well, we're advertisers, we're spending money, we pay the bills. Facebook should respect us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care about. Not only do they not care about us, I get the feeling they just don't like us. In fact, all these entrepreneurs and marketers.
I'll joke about it. Ready? Here's the joke. We're so good at what we do, we get people to leave the platform.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's
they don't like us. You're right.
Well, if you notice, what started happening, did you see that? Years back, an ad would come up in Instagram or Facebook, and you would click, and it would immediately take you to the website. And now you're noticing when you click, it slides the website into the right into the offer, because they as much as they want you as an advertiser to be successful, for you to be successful, the person has to get off the platform. What they'd really like to do is keep showing ads to more people. So they want to show ads. They want you to be successful, but showing one successful ad and then you go and watch a 3-hour, webinar replay, it's not helping Facebook. So at the end of the day, Jesse, like you said, if you say, I want to see Russell Brunson and Frank Kern, well, to us, that might be, well, Russell Brunson has a big audience and so does Frank Kern. To Facebook, they may be like, you're pigeonholing us by saying only show to these people or like audiences. We know better than you, and we want to be able to show your ad to a bigger audience. And so, like you said, they can actually do better now for us than the containment that we would like to use, because that would limit how long it would take them to spend our money.
Yeah. Well, and then like you were saying, Jesse, I think the other thing to really focus in on, and I need to remind myself of this, is that Facebook, they only care about the users, because I think they're deathly afraid of losing their user base, right? Of it by attrition.
Right.
Slowly as people jump off of Facebook and stop using it over time. And I know even some of the younger generation now is not using it much. And I think they're deathly afraid of that. So if we as advertisers are going to come on and make the experience where it's not enjoyable, they don't like the ads they're seeing, they get frustrated by an ad they clicked on, Facebook is going to do everything possible to prevent that. So,
yeah.
Go ahead, Jesse.
The biggest rule when somebody gets their ad account shut down, they're like, well, I got my ad account shut down because I violated Facebook's policies. Yes, sometimes. A lot of the time, you just got a lot of complaints. They don't care about what you're putting out as long as it's not getting complaints. If it starts getting complaints, it's a user platform first. So everything you got to understand when you think about it, think it's a user platform. How am I going to serve Facebook's users the best?
Let me explain that, Jesse, to the point where, how many times have you been on with somebody and they're trying to tell you that they got shut down, and they'll show you the creatives or something, go, here are their guidelines. It says we can't do this. We didn't do that. We're not doing guns. We're not doing anything like this. We're not doing drugs, and pharmaceuticals and supplements. We went through their guidelines. We're not breaking their guidelines. And we even spoke with Facebook and we said, hey, can you explain to us what we did wrong? And Jesse, you just said it. It's not that you did anything specifically wrong in the guidelines. Your ads were annoying to people, and they were reporting as spam and abuse. And so even a quality ad, if it's not in the spirit of the platform, is not going to work. Ultimately, what Facebook wants to do when people are swiping through, or TikTok or Instagram, is they want your ad to blend in with the normal content that people are posting. So the more that your ad or your ads can look less spammy and like actual content, right? Like, so think of what somebody might post, right? It's like a breakfast, in a smiley face or something like that. If you can do, the bacon smiley face with the eggs and find a way to turn that into an ad, what you're going to see is a lot of people are going to just think that was traditional content. Mm-hmm. And the right audience is going to be like, oh, that's an interesting thing. Let me click on. And it didn't disrupt the platform. It didn't have, basically, save 50% and boom, spam. It's just, people don't want to see that, and they might report it, even though it followed all the guidelines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if they just hide your ad frequently and not like reporting it as spam, that'll nuke you too.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things, and I talked about it before, is creating good content. Like being a content creator and an ad runner is an important thing, because you're practicing the thing that Facebook values the most, which is trying to create a viral video. And then a lot of times you can turn that into an ad once you see what's working. And another idea that sparked from what you were talking about, Mike, was like the Harmon Brothers type ads, or like Dollar Shave Club. Like people have created billion-dollar brands. Like I know a guy, I ran their ads for a while for the Dr. Squatch soap, which he uses the same type of ad as the Dollar Shave Club, Harmon Brothers. And that's what created these billion-dollar companies. We got like Liquid Death, the water company. It's called Liquid Death. It's water. Like creating a concept and a brand, and creating interesting, funny content where you can do certain things that are within the viral video components. Like they do like a water test, right? So they do like the most viral like YouTube videos are doing a blind test where they go interview people, ask them the same question, and see what they say. So if you can you see what the most viral content is, take that as an idea, go and then script it out, create a storyboard, and create an ad. It not only is it fun, but it's fun for the people on the other end. The results are going to be better. It does take more work to do that versus just scripting something out and standing in front of a whiteboard or just talking. But, you know, if you want to do really good ads, you either spend the time and energy up front or you pay on the back end because you're going to pay Mark Zuckerberg more money. So, yeah, I would rather probably spend the time up front, storyboard it out, come up with a good viral strategy. And I recommend practicing with organic content, because a lot of times your best organic content is going to become your ad with just a call to action added to the end of it, you know? So.
All right. Yeah, I think that is the best. The best ads are content-based ads as opposed to just a direct sales pitch. I that's what I find in our stuff too. So
let me give one last tip here, Bill.
Yeah.
That we got from Rich Sheffrin's Steal Our Winners, and it was buried in there. And Donnie watched one of the episodes and applied it. Donnie runs Performance Golf. They do about $150 million a year. I don't know how much they spend on ads, but like it's tens of millions of dollars a year. And they put this in and then went back and looked at it a year later. And 64 out of 68 of their ads that they were able to scale, like you know, they have had other ads that work, but the ads that were able to scale followed this formula. And it was, I apologize, I don't remember the person, otherwise I'd give them credit. I just don't remember the person that did that episode with Rich Sheffrin. But the premise was called Tease versus Taste. And so the teasing ads only worked 4 out of 68 times that were able to scale. The taste were the ones that 64 out of 68 were able to scale. And so what is the difference? I'll give you the wrong way. The ones that didn't scale as much. And this is usually your hand goes over skip ad, and we click skip ad when this happens. And it's such the logical way that we do ads, and it goes like this. And I'll even make fun of something that I told everybody to do before, right? So this is the wrong ad. You're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, and this happens, and you've got your hand over the skip ad button. In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you the 12 fundamental laws of a no-fail traffic campaign. Hi, I'm Mike Filsaime, and I'm up. Skip ad. Skip ad, skip ad, skip ad, skip ad. We really think, well, then how else would we do an ad? So let's tone it down. In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter. Did you know that there are 12? Skip, 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 skip. So then what actually works? And so it's taste. It's no tease, get right to the content. So I'm going to just move this little chair out of the way, and I can see I'm still in the camera. And put this here so you can still hear me. And imagine there was a whiteboard here, and it says the 12 fundamental laws on it. And it's like you walked into the room with the best part of the training. Thanks, Mike. And so just imagine that the training was just like this. I don't even say hi. I don't say anything. The video just starts with, and I'll use something that's probably going to get somebody hooked. So this is what we did, and I'll pretend I'm writing here so that the microphone is here. And now I'm writing on a whiteboard with my back to the camera. This is what we did to go from 1,000 subscribers in 6 months to 300,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel in 6 months. The first thing we did, and you're just jumping right into the content and what's happened. And Donnie did this with golf. Instead of saying, do you suffer from a slice? Do you know that what they basically did was just walk somebody up and say, take a look at what we're doing right now. I'm going to show you what I do with my hands in just a minute. Hit. Perfect shot. So what we did there, and so there's no promise. It's just jumping right into the content. And so it's called taste creatives. And by doing that, the people are not, they're so used to, it's like the person in Vegas, like slapping the tickets while you walk by. Hey, I'm not interested in that comedy club. And we're so used to saying no and putting the Heisman hand out. We're conditioned for somebody to be, did you know? And all that. So if you just have a little bit more subtle advertising hook.
Well, it's funny. I could tell you, Mike, just in listening, the difference in how I felt listening to those two pitches, right? Well, one very closed off and wanting to resist the message, right? That's the sales resistance kicking. The other one is like, oh, what's he talking about? It's like a whole different, just from, I mean, I'm not a prospect. I'm just watching you now. I could feel a difference in myself between those two approaches. So,
yeah. And it goes back to something Andy Jenkins and I say that because we were just teaching this at our last mastermind. And Donnie said something, and I said, Donnie, like the words that you just said can be used with these 3 words that me and Andy used to say. It's teach, transform, transact, not tease, teach, transform, transact. So what the replay that you're sending people to, it's following that same thing. We teach first. They learn from Jesse, Jacob, and Peter. And when we teach, a lot of things happen. I like these people. We get credibility, what people see. And once you teach for free, people have a transformation and they go, the same way you did, Bill watching that, saying, hey, I picked up something I can put in. Once people have that little aha moment, that's the transformation. And that's when you've earned the right to transact. So ads should be teach, transform, transact.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So talking about that replay, perfect chance to plug it again. So we did a webinar just yesterday. This is for their traffic syndicate that is closing. So the time that we're live right now, it's closing tomorrow night. So it's this is your got a little window to become part of the traffic syndicate. And if you're looking to get more traffic or to really break through and start to really even get your first traffic, I would highly suggest you watch the webinar, and if it's right for you, join the syndicate. So you can check that out at jobcrusher.com/syndicate is where you can watch that replay. You'll see on that page towards the bottom a link to go join the traffic syndicate if you think it's right for you. But there's a lot of gold in the replay for that webinar. There's I personally had some takeaway moments where I came away with some knowledge I learned on that webinar itself. So I want to recommend the audience go check that out if you haven't seen it. And then guys, I'm going to continue to do some content on the channel here. I think what we'll do is we can do a final wrap up on Traffic Syndicate, and you guys are more than welcome to hang out, or if you probably have a lot going on with the launch, either way. But
I'm going to be heading out. Yeah, we'll throw one more round in here. But yeah, I do got to head out. I got to take the wife to eat.
All right, fantastic. And any last words on the syndicate that you want to say, let everybody know about?
Yeah, it's hopefully you guys join it. You go to jobcrusher.com/syndicate. That syndicate right there, right behind my head. How you spell it? And one of the things I just want to drive home for everybody is that what we tried to create is an all-in-one solution. We wanted to provide software that can help you make it work. One of the things when we correlate all the things that make people successful, it's a mastermind, it's education, it's live coaching, and an opportunity to do that, pick your choice between $2,000 and $5,000. If somebody were just to say, Bill invited me to something, let me scroll to the page, $5,000. It's like, hey, let's put everything in context. This is a 40K mastermind with more days than people are offering for 5K. And on top of that, there's 12 courses, over 200 modules, future courses being added, live coaching happening twice a day, software, resources, GPTs, your bonuses built, and a community. What we wanted to do was basically say to people, hey, we believe in terms of education, this is pretty much going to be a one-stop shop for you here. You'll have everything that you need. And then the only thing that you need to do from there is take action. And I'll leave with this metaphor and turn it over to Jesse. If you look at somebody like me, and I'll say this for fact, and I'm going to pat myself on the back here. When it comes to UFC, MMA, I can call a fight. And I've never done, I don't want to say never done, but you'll get it in just a minute. Never done jiu-jitsu before or anything. I've been watching. I haven't missed a fight every Saturday. And if I miss it, I'm on the cruise. I watch it later or whatever the case is. I've seen every fight in the UFC since before Brock Lesnar came out. So it was like 2005. And I haven't missed a fight. I watch the prelims, watch every fight that there is. And because of that, I could get ahead sometimes of the people calling the fight and say, oh, I don't think he has that. It's not in tight enough, or that's going to be a tap out or anything. You take that knowledge and you go to now apply that to jiu-jitsu, which I did. I started taking jiu-jitsu lessons, and you realize you don't know anything. And at that point, I don't know if this is the grip or if this is the grip or if this is the grip, or do my hands go in this way or wrap around this way? So the point is that you could get an education in something, and until you actually apply it, you know nothing. You could watch 100 hours of YouTube content a week on how to hit a golf ball, and you can actually start looking, going, oh, that guy's not lining up right. You'll start getting that good. Now you go try to hit a golf ball for the first time, you're not going to be able to hit it. And the same thing with chess. I'm taking a lot of chess lessons right now. My chess game has gone up. But if all I did was watch videos on chess and take courses and never actually play the game, I'd never be learning. So what I want to say to people is, at a certain point in time, you have to realize that you are not learning unless you're applying. So no matter what you do with the Traffic Syndicate or any education that you get from Bill McIntosh or anybody, today's the day that you have to say, that's it. I've got to go on the mat and start getting, my breaking a sweat. I've got to go hit that golf ball, or I've got to go hit the start button at chess.com and actually play an opponent. And so coming into the Traffic Syndicate, this isn't something that we're looking to just educate you. We want you to apply everything that you're doing. And the only way that you truly learn is through application, not education. And so we want you to start building those ads and learning from that process rather than just watching videos. That's where the success is going to come. And Jesse, over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've had this vision for a long time. When I worked with Brendan Burchard, it was, to do some of the biggest launches with him. We did the Coolest Cooler launch. We also launched his stuff. So how did we get to like 200 million people a week seeing his posts? We had a lot of other people that were willing to share those posts. It wasn't just me. And I got this concept from like Jay Shetty and Prince EA, where you have a group of people like in a WhatsApp group that when you're about to make a viral video, you already know the video is going to go viral before you even create the video, because you have a community of people that's willing to share you out. It's willing, just like what Mike did with his launches and what you guys are doing with launches. You have a lot of JV partners, people that are going to promote to their email list, put you on social media, just like what we're doing right now. You have other people that are going to help you get traffic. So as we build up this community of people, and when I was working with Prince EA, he would charge, $250,000 to make a video, but he would guarantee it was going to get seen by at least 10 million people, because he had a network of over 1 billion followers in that network, like 20 or 30 different big channels on social media, that when he did a video, he knew he was going to get the shares. So he created a trailer just like a movie launch, got people excited about the movie, and then it would go viral, right? So what we want to do in this community is not only build the organic community where we can just get each other to share each other's content, and that's what Gary Vaynerchuk has done extremely well also. And I've shared some of Gary's posts. They reached out into my network. Hey, we're putting this out at 12 noon on Wednesday. It's going to be the most viral video ever. I didn't think the video was that good. It wasn't better than his other videos, but it got like 20 million views in the first minute, because all the big channels shared this out. So what I'm excited about is having everybody work together to go viral organic and to help each other, not only to learn the stuff. And you need a coach. Everybody needs a coach, right? To keep you in the game. If you have a trainer, I don't care who you are. Michael Jordan has coaches, the best in the world. Oprah Winfrey has like 9 coaches. Brendan Burchard has 1 million coaches, right? So all the people that I've worked with, they all have coaches. You need someone there to keep you accountable. You need a community that can have your back and help you go viral a little bit more than you could do yourself. And then you need people to look at your ads to say, hey, you're bidding against yourself on your paid ads. We can take it from you losing money to now getting a 3 to 5x ROAS on your ads. So those things just right there, and being able to plug in for a community with the highest level people like Mike, Bill, and we already named off all these people. Like literally I have people throwing their courses at this, people that are begging to coach. I can't even fit in all the coaches with the time slots that we have available, because we just have so many people that we could plug into this thing. So as this thing grows, the price is going to go up. So get in now. And we're looking for the best case studies that we can build to be an example for the community. To do that, we got to do organic and build up this community so we can all do that. And then the paid strategies. I think honestly, like I've worked with people like a done for you scenario in my agency. I think some of the projects that we're going to work on in this community could be like what Tony Robbins did with his mastermind when the guy that created Salesforce came into the Platinum Partner Program with an idea and now has a $200 billion company because of the community that he plugged into, right? So you can get into this. Traffic is king. It's the number one thing that you need. We're thinking about this on a holistic level with guys like Bill and Mike and, you know, the new generation that's going viral on TikTok. So we're bringing that all together in one place, helping you build a business that you can have a good offer and a good funnel, and you can get the right traffic to that offer at the right time. Sky's the limit for your success. So that's what we got here. That's the vision. I've been building this for over 10 years. I've seen people like Billy Jean build an agency, but where he made all of his money was in his coaching, the Gene Pool. Like that's what we're doing. We're building a community, but it has the mastermind component, the group coaching, all the courses all in one. You don't have to go outside of that. The investment, I think, is very reasonable. So get in now because the price, you know, will go up in the future. So, but yeah, that's what we're doing.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see everybody who joins, and you guys can get access to the Traffic Syndicate. You can go directly and read all about the offer and what's included in the syndicate by going to jobcrusher.com/trafficmike. So that's jobcrusher.com/trafficmike. Little trivia about Job Crusher we'll leave with in just a moment. So that's where you go to learn more about the offer. And if you'd like to watch the replay webinar from yesterday, which again, there's lots of gold nuggets about traffic, some amazing training, you can check that out. That is at jobcrusher.com/syndicate. And Mike, before we let you go, little known fact, only those who have been around with us for a long time. Did you guys know that Mike was a part of Job Crusher back in the day? This is like this is going back a ways, but
if I had to say when that was, I would say 2008 to 2009. I would say maybe 2008, 2009. Job Crusher, yeah. I was part of the original Job Crusher vision back in the day.
Yeah. So it was Eric and Mike, and I came
Dan
in
Hatfield.
a bit. What's that?
It was Dan Hatfield.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Eric Louviere and this other guy named Fabricio Cruz, which isn't his real name, but that's the name he wanted to go by with at that time. He just thought it was a better online name. Who's just a legendary marketer as well. And then then from there, Bill, you ended up buying the domain and the business from Eric. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So Eric brought me in, the idea was to kind of resurrect the brand. So he brought me in, and then we brought Matt Gill in, and then it was the three of us for some time. So as partnerships sometimes go, things were
or as we say, yada yada yada. Now I own it.
Yeah. So I'm on good terms with both of them, and everything is cool there. But yeah, I'm the last man standing. So
Yeah. So yeah, I was once part of Job Crusher, yada yada yada. Now Bill has it. There it is. That's
Look it over.
Yeah, that's a little bit of trivia for sure. Bill, thanks for having us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you for joining me. Yeah, Jesse, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Yeah, pleasure meeting you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to be here for a little bit more. I'm going to do a little more content for the audience, and we got to get some recordings in the can. So I'll keep going. But so you guys can hang out, or feel free to just drop out whenever you're ready.
I'm going to take off. Thanks, Bill. Jesse, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay. Now. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it,
see
Mike.
you guys. Yeah.
All right.
And then producer Nick, are you out there?
I am, yeah.
Okay, cool. So then do we need to do, I know we had 2 segments planned. I don't know how the content schedule is for you. Do we need to get those in the can for the team?
No, I know you're probably a little you've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. So if you If you don't want, we have enough content, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So today we originally had planned two. I was going to kind of cram in some additional content. One was about both of them traffic related. One was about Twitter ads, and the other one was a content ad strategy. They kind of went together really nicely with the traffic syndicate theme. So what I think we'll do, I think what we'll do is we're going to do this. We'll do a round of Q&A with the audience. I know so I'm going to answer any questions about traffic. So if you guys have questions about how to get traffic, different traffic sources, anything at all, we'll talk about traffic today in this whole traffic syndicate spirit. And then I'm going to push these two segments into next week. So I will cover on next week's live show. There's a really cool Twitter ad campaign I'm running right now. So I'm going to share that with you. I'll show you the live ads, show you how I set that campaign up. And then we also are going to talk about how, you heard Mike and Jesse talking about how you have to really put out good content and be like a good Facebook citizen, so to speak, in order to get them to really like you and reward you with cheap traffic. And so I have a little campaign that costs just $2 a day that I'm going to teach about as well. So we'll be covering both of those tactics on next Wednesday's live show. So I do want to remind you, if you haven't yet subscribed, you'll see down below the video a subscribe button. So that will enable you to be notified next time we release this content. And we'll cover that next week on the live show. And then also, if you've got value out of today's training, tap the like button. That actually helps reward the channel, helps YouTube understand what we're doing here is valuable, and then YouTube will help get the word out and grow our little community. So we have been working for a few months now to build up a community around this channel, and it's going pretty well, but we still have a ways to go. At least like at the time of this recording, I think we're closing in on 6,000 subscribers. So still a small channel, but we've got some room to grow. And by liking the video, you help YouTube know to get the word out about the channel. And so I'm going to take a very quick commercial break. And then we're going to come back with your questions about traffic. So if you put in the chat, put in the YouTube chat right now, any questions that you have about traffic. And that could be traffic strategies, a problem you're encountering, a traffic method, whatever it is, pop those questions into the chat now. And then we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Here we go.
Do you know you can now launch your own online business with the click of a mouse? Sounds crazy, right? Guess what? It's now possible thanks to our game-changing AI software that's helping beginners build a successful online business. If you have tried and failed at building an online business, or you've got no idea where to start, there is good news for you. We are entering a new exciting era of AI, and I'm here to teach you how to use it to build and grow an online business. Because I'm handing you a blueprint, a business in a box powered by AI, and it's called PushButton AI. Imagine a tool so smart it does all the heavy lifting for you. Builds an info product business, sets up hosting, launches the website, and even crafts engaging email sequences. Here's the thing. This isn't like anything else out there, and this is based on what's working right now. PushButton AI is based on my experience of generating over $100 million over the last 20 years and helping over 81,942 customers build and grow their own online businesses. If you'd like to find out more about this, register now and dive into my free live demo to uncover strategies and traffic tricks that will pivot your business and skyrocket your online business from surviving to thriving. Imagine what your life would look like today if you bought Bitcoin when it was $1. You now have the same opportunity with PushButton AI since nobody else is doing this. Don't miss out this time.
It helps when I unmute the microphone before I speak. So, hey,
Well, how long
back.
were you talking on mute?
Oh, just a second, not very long. But welcome back, everyone. And Producer Nick, can you do me a favor and pop in that link, which is pushbutton.ai/free class. Pop that into the chat. If anybody wants to learn more about PushButton AI, that's where you go. You can get a free live demo and learn all about how to use our cutting-edge AI business builder that will build you a business from scratch in any niche market you so desire. You can go from an idea in your head to a fully launched and ready to take order business by the next morning. It's quite something. You can learn all about how you can use that to get more traffic, more sales, and build an online business. Just go to pushbutton.ai/free class. Now, Producer Nick, let's go to questions. So if you have any questions, either that you saw earlier or that came up now, let's take questions about getting traffic.
Yeah. So none rolled in during the commercial break, so I'll defer to the backlog and I'll go back up, see if any came in earlier.
Sure.
But I have a little question.
Yes.
If you're following 10 PGB and you're releasing SEO blog content and you're doing one a day, what can the rough timeline look like? Like, when can you start to expect to see search traffic roll in?
Okay, so I'm going to unpack that a little bit for the audience too. So Nick is talking about my 10 PGB strategy, which is, we cover it on the channel, by the way. So if anybody is unfamiliar with what that is, there's a video that teaches you all about it. And Nick, you could link that in the chat. But 10 PGB stands for you find the 10 biggest problems or goals in your market. So whatever niche you're in, there are ways to do that. You can do it with ChatGPT. You can do it with PushButton AI. It does it for you. It'll uncover the 10 biggest problems or goals in the marketplace. And then once you know what those are, you create blog content, written blog content about those topics. And so again, it's a very specific strategy about how you do that to get traffic. You can learn more about that by watching that other YouTube video. I go step by step on how to do it. But you create blog content following that plan. So once you've uncovered what the biggest 10 problems and goals of the market is, you start doing content helping them with those 10 problems and goals. And the B in 10 PGB stands for benefits. So what are the end benefits, how someone is going to feel, what are they going to have when they solve those problems or achieve those goals. So you're going to blog about that every single day, okay? And so Nick's question is, how soon before you can start seeing search engine traffic if you're doing that? And that varies quite a lot, but if you're doing it daily, then you can see search engine traffic. I mean, this is going to be a little controversial, but I know it firsthand. You can see search traffic within weeks, okay? Most people will tell you that you won't get anything in the search engine for many, many months on a new website. You can get traction within weeks, but there are some basic things when you set up and launch your website that you need to do in order for that to happen. So, which is like, make sure the basics of setting up your Google Analytics. Your Google Search Console is something that you, excuse me, should have muted myself there, but there we go. And then there are some things that you want to do as well to kind of register your domain name out on the web. They call it directory submission, where you submit your new website out on the web so that people know it exists, okay? So if you've done those basic steps, that's kind of a prerequisite, and you start blogging daily following this method, you can start to see search traffic within weeks. And then the cool thing is, in next week's training, I'm going to teach how to do this, but how do you amplify it to make it happen bigger, stronger, faster? So that's actually one of the things we're covering next week. And any other questions?
No, I think that's it.
All right. So for those of you who are still with us, what did you guys think of Mike and his content from him coming on with the good stuff? Yeah. What'd you think about Mike and Jesse's content that they delivered or about the Traffic Syndicate? I'm curious of what your thoughts and feedback are on that. Some pretty good tidbits of information about getting traffic. Actually, that thing that Mike talked about, giving them the taste, not the tease. I think that's something that I'm going to put to use literally next week in some ads. So I got value out of it. How about you? Did you? Okay, fantastic. Good. And then I think that is going to wrap us up. So I don't see any other questions either. Well, I want to let you know that I highly encourage you to join Mike's Traffic Syndicate. Of course, I'm an affiliate promoting his launch, so I will get a commission if you do end up buying. Full disclosure, I want to make sure everything is always upfront and for everybody. That being said, I've known Mike a long time. I've had the privilege of being able to hang out with him and his wife and all over a lot of places all around the world, actually. And and he's a good guy. Humble guy. I know he has a big reputation, but as one of the one of the originals, part of the syndicate back in the day of starting internet marketing. But he's a great guy. He really loves teaching others and helping other entrepreneurs. And so I want to let you know that I wholeheartedly endorse the Traffic Syndicate and Mike and everything that him and Jesse are doing over there. So you can check that out. Again, we'll pop the links one final time in the chat where you can go to join the Traffic Syndicate by going to jobcrusher.com/trafficmike, or you can watch the replay from yesterday by going to jobcrusher.com/syndicate. So we'll pop those out there for you one last time. And then don't forget that this is a launch and it does close tomorrow night. So you have a little window to be able to jump in there and be part of that. And then I hope to be hanging out with you over there in Miami in June. We get to hang out together in the Traffic Syndicate if you do decide to come out. And with that, were there any other questions before we head out?
Nope.
All right. Then on that note, we're going to wrap it up. So don't forget to subscribe. Link down below. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a like. And I can't wait to see you next week. I'm going to run a few little YouTube ads here, and then we're going to be wrapping up. I'll be hanging out in the chat just a little bit longer. So I'll be chatting with anybody who's left in there. But Producer Nick, thank you for your help today. And everybody else, we shall see you next time. Bye for now. Those of you who are not yet a PushButton AI customer, then you need to check this out. And all you need to do is go to pushbutton.ai/demo, pushbutton.ai/demo, and you can get a live one-on-one appointment to get on Zoom and see this powerful technology in action. And with PushButton AI, it will build an entire business from bottom to top. Everything you need, from your domain name to your logo to videos to audio lessons, an entire course that you can sell as your own, a 30-day email sequence that it writes. You can send a daily email for 30 days, all written by AI, and a whole lot more. It writes your sales page. If you're not sure how to write an expert sales page to convince people to buy stuff, it writes it for you. It writes a free report that you can give away to get subscribers to your list. It even creates and writes the opt-in subscription page to get people to subscribe to get the free report. And it goes on and on and on. It even writes your first 10 blog posts for you, and it can do so much more. Social media posts, ads, all of these things are done, and all you have to do is answer a couple of questions and push a button. Now, PushButton AI is not available to the public at the time of recording this video. And the only way to get in is by invite to our behind-the-scenes beta access. And during your live demo, we'll show you the technology. We'll actually work with you to actually map out an entire course that you could sell as your own. We'll outline the course with you together on the one-on-one Zoom call. And then if you so decide, if you're a good fit, you can come in, join our PushButton AI beta program, and be in business with that very course by the next day. Go to pushbutton.ai/demo to figure out if this powerful technology is right for you. You can register there. You'll book an appointment in the calendar. be sure you show up. Our team will be very excited to meet you and show you how the tech works, outline your new course for you, and hopefully it's a fit and we can work together to launch your next business.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
You know, the other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had PushButton AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using PushButton AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning, you wouldn't believe.
This PushButton AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
You know you can now launch your own online business with the click of a mouse? Sounds crazy, right? Guess what? It's now possible thanks to our game-changing AI software that's helping beginners build a successful online business. If you have tried and failed at building an online business or you've got no idea where to start, there is good news for you. We are entering a new exciting era of AI, and I'm here to teach you how to use it to build and grow an online business. Because I'm handing you a blueprint, a business in a box powered by AI, and it's called PushButton AI. Imagine a tool so smart it does all the heavy lifting for you. Builds an info product business, sets up hosting, launches the website, and even crafts engaging email sequences. Here's the thing. This isn't like anything else out there, and this is based on what's working right now. PushButton AI is based on my experience of generating over $100 million over the last 20 years and helping over 81,942 customers build and grow their own online businesses. If you'd like to find out more about this, register now and dive into my free live demo to uncover strategies and traffic tricks that will pivot your business and skyrocket your online business from surviving to thriving. Imagine what your life would look like today if you bought Bitcoin when it was $1. You now have the same opportunity with PushButton AI since nobody else is doing this. Don't miss out this time.
For those of you who are not yet a PushButton AI customer, then you need to check this out. And all you need to do is go to pushbutton.ai/demo, pushbutton.ai/demo, and you can get a live one-on-one appointment to get on Zoom and see this powerful technology in action. And with PushButton AI, it will build an entire business from bottom to top. Everything you need, from your domain name to your logo to videos to audio lessons, an entire course that you can sell as your own, a 30-day email sequence that it writes. You can send a daily email for 30 days, all written by AI, and a whole lot more. It writes your sales page. If you're not sure how to write an expert sales page to convince people to buy stuff, it writes it for you. It writes a free report that you can give away to get subscribers to your list. It even creates and writes the opt-in subscription page to get people to subscribe to get the free report. And it goes on and on and on. It even writes your first 10 blog posts for you, and it can do so much more. Social media posts, ads, all of these things are done, and all you have to do is answer a couple of questions and push a button. Now, PushButton AI is not available to the public at the time of recording this video. And the only way to get in is by invite to our behind the scenes beta access. And during your live demo, we'll show you the technology. We'll actually work with you to actually map out an entire course that you could sell as your own. We'll outline the course with you together on the one-on-one Zoom call. And then if you so decide, if you're a good fit, you can come in, join our PushButton AI beta program, and be in business with that very course by the next day. Go to pushbutton.ai/demo to figure out if this powerful technology is right for you. You can register there. You'll book an appointment in the calendar. Be sure you show up. Our team will be very excited to meet you and show you how the tech works, outline your new course for you, and hopefully it's a fit and we can work together to launch your next business.